Hey guys, this video is going to be about Halfdan the Black. To certain people, Halfdan the Black is referred to as Halfdan the Black because his hair was black. But why would they name a legendary king Halfdan the Black? Out of all the names, you could have said Halfdan the Gold, Halfdan the Man, Halfdan, White. You could have said all these names, but you chose Halfdan the Black for this great so-called king of Norway, right? Of Norse origin. So, Halfdan the Black, Old Norse, Halfdanr, Swarthy, 9th century, was a king of Vestfold. He belonged to the House of Nilling and was the father of Harald Fairhair, the first king of a unified Norway. All right? Let's get to this part. No contemporary sources mention Halfdan, and the details of his life that are provided by later kings' sagas are considered semi-legendary by modern historians. Although he has his own saga in Heimskringla, it lacks any skaldic verse, which is normally used by Snorri as supporting evidence, and this, combined with its rather legendary character, leads historians to be wary of seeing much veracity in it. The Black nickname was given to him because of his black hair. Really? His black hair, okay. But, here's the thing. You got the word swarthy in here, right? They love using swarthy. But remember, swarthy has two definitions. Let's get to this part. Halfdan the Black, swarthy skin. Halfdan the Black, Halfdan swarthy, was a real 9th century Norwegian king, father of Harald Fairhair, known as Black for his dark hair, not necessarily swarthy skin. What do you mean by necessarily? Though Vikings' ancestry was diverse, featuring dark features alongside lighter ones, while historical figures like Halfdan had dark hair, the idea of black or dark-skinned Vikings isn't exclusive to him. Some sagas mention dark-featured people, but it's about hair complexion variation, not race, reflecting diverse Viking genetics. Okay. So, you see the name Swarthy, right? Now, here's the thing. When you type in Benjamin Franklin Swarthy quote, right? Oh, I'm saying it's loading. It's loading, guys. Man, let me see. NBA with the. It's not working for some reason. This is. Man. Man. This is ridiculous. Alright, but. So there was a quote by Benjamin Franklin. Okay? For some reason, it's not my internet. It's something wrong with the account. But what I want y'all to do is, right, if you're still here, right, go to your cell phone. Alright? Type Benjamin Franklin Swarthy quote. It's going to say, and in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion. So, they said the Swedes. Remember, the Swedes and the Danes have the same ancestor, sort of. So it ain't just the Swedes, it's the Danes too. So when they called him Black, when they call him Harald the Black Swarthy. Okay, now it's loaded. Alright. Now we can go here. So Like I said, and in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion, as the Germans also. The Saxons only accepted who with the English make the principal body of white people face the earth. Right? Why is it doing this? Okay, so you go to the quote. It said all of Europe was swarthy. You see all that orange? That's all the swarthy people. And let me show you what swarthy really means. Swarthy meaning dark skin. Dark skinned. Right? Not dark hair. Dark skinned. Alright? So, when they're saying Harold the Halfdan the black, Halfdan swarthy, they're saying he's a black man. And I'm gonna prove it again. I already showed you the Benjamin Franklin quote. Let's go type in Koza Pan, the black Siamese diplomat, right? And they changed his image again. Wow. They changed. Wow, they changed his image again. Wow. He used to. I might look up this dude. Let me go ahead. Why is my computer moving like this? Oh my gosh. Somebody has to be... Man. Oh my... This is terrible, bro. Like, what? Why is my computer doing this? It's lagging. But let me go back. So remember we learned about... Oh my gosh, bro. Just remember we learned from... Engelbert Kempfer, that's the black Siamese diplomat. He's more comely person of better aspect than I ever met amongst this black race of mankind, right? Remember, by the German naturalist. So I'm about to show you this German naturalist in 1690. Right? Look, you see how dark his skin is? Look, that's swarthy. Do you see how red and that's got a little bit looks like got vitiligo in the middle here. Let me type it if he has vitiligo. All right, Engelbert. I don't know how to spell his name. Engelbert Kempfer vitiligo. Let's see if he has it. Okay, there's no confirmed he had vitiligo. So, that's not vitiligo. That's just his something happened to the paint and they made him, or maybe it's part of the art like this. But look how dark it looks, right? And he died 1716. Let's type in Benjamin Franklin. He died 1790. Born, right? So I'm just saying, like, if Benjamin Franklin's saying all of Europe is dark, and this dude, they're saying this dude, where is he at? And this dude saying that the Siamese diplomat is black, and look at his skin, right? And he said Germans are swarthy, then you should already know of what he looked like. All right, now let's get to some more receipts. Halfdan the Black for his dark hair, not necessarily swarthy skin. Right? Right? Scroll down. We gotta go to the article, but was Viking King Halfdan the Black African? In Norway, 1899, Sigvard Sorensen uses Halfdan the Swarthy. Right? So even this dude, we're gonna see this, just show you this is a real person. This real person, yes, a real person said Halfdan was swarthy. All right, so we're gonna go back. Maybe we're gonna go into the Of course, this person could be like, maybe he had black hair and he was very, very hairy like some guys are. Really? Can I show you a hair? I don't even gotta type hairy black person. Look at this, man. Kimbo Slice. I'm not saying he's a Dane, but he's hairy. Like, are you sick? It ain't just whites that are hairy, man. Let's go down. There's no African here. He's not African. He's Dane. African is a continent. All right, so another receipt. Next, this Facebook person said, we'll try to read it much can. The Black Vikings in ancient Scandinavia. Although there are not many stories out there about Black Vikings in ancient Scandinavia, one popular dark-skinned Viking stood out. His name is Jeremon Halfdan. Jeremon Halfdan, known as the Black-Skinned Viking, was the son of King Jasher, a descendant of the Oghbog dynasty in Norway, and Juvina, a Mongolian princess from Sikh Harcha tribe of Siberia. Despite her dark skin and foreign origins, Lafundia reigned as queen alongside Jasher, who married her to secure control over the lucrative walrus trade. Their twin sons, Jeremor and Hamor, inherited their mother's dark complexion and were nicknamed Harajan Black Skin. Initially, Jafuna attempted to exchange the twins for a slave's lighter-skinned son, fearing Hordon's rejection. However, the lower lineage was eventually recognized and the twins were accepted. Now, do you really believe that that story of that he was too dark for the Dark King? Really? So, they're not African, but they're black. So let's get to the next source. We're gonna make these quick. If you want to, if you want to hear more about them, just comment and I can do it. Not gonna do that one. Oh, here's one. In the Viking times, the Danes were called Dugael, that is black foreigners, while the Norwegians were called Fingael, fair strangers. It has usually been supposed that this was a distinction made on account of a difference in complexion and color of the hair in the two races, but the Danes were not dark, but fair and ruddy, as were the Norwegians. Fair and ruddy. So, type in fair skin, right? Light with a low melanin. That's fair. Right? Real fair skin. Okay, that's fair. Now let's type in ruddy skin. That's ruddy. Type in ruddy animal. That's a rud. So I don't know what they're talking about, saying that he had fair and ruddy skin. That's the same thing. All right. Now, so yeah, we gotta read more of that. If you want to read more, you can go to the Facebook. We get this part now. What is the origin of the name Dougal? The name Dougal has Scottish Gaelic origins, meaning dark stranger or black foreigner, derived from the Gaelic dúb, dark black, and Gaul, stranger foreigner. It was originally a by-name for a dark-haired Norse Vikings Danes in Scotland, distinguished them from fair-haired Norwegians. Really? Really? Dark-haired versus fair-haired. Really? You mean dark-skinned and fair-skinned? Okay. Just look. So they said dark stranger or black foreigner. That only makes why didn't you put black hair? So that don't make sense too. But this is just more evidence, right? And this person saying that it meant complexion. So now we're gonna get to some good ones. So did Vikings receive white slaves from Moors? Yes, Vikings and Moors were deeply involved in the slave trade. And while direct exchange of white slaves between them weren't the primary route, Vikings captured Europeans, including Slavs, Celts, and Anglo-Saxons, who were then sold into vast network that reached Islamic lands, including Moorish Spain, where white European slaves called Saqualiba were in high demand for harems and administration. The Vikings acted as major suppliers of European captives to the Islamic world via routes through Eastern Europe and Dublin, connecting to the broader Mediterranean trade. Vikings raided extensively across, capturing people from the British Isles, Slavic Islands, and France, sell them as thralls, slaves. Right? Eastern European routes. Vikings like the Rus transported Slavic captives from Eastern Europe down rivers to sell to Muslim merchants in the Abbasid Caliphate and Volga, Bulgaria, aka the Moors, right? Moor Spain, Al-Andalus. The Moors imported large number of European white slaves, North African slaves. Saqualiba. I'm just reading the thing. I don't know how to say it. From various sources, including those captured by Vikings to serve in their palaces and harems. Direct contact. There are no accounts like the fragmentary Annals of Ireland suggesting Vikings raided Morocco itself in the 19th century and brought captives back, potentially even selling some locally or within their network. And here's the picture evidence. You have paintings of Moors, right, with white slaves, right? Now they try to hide them, so we got to type in this. Oh, they always want, oh my God, they want to hide it. White slave, they want to hide. It used to be easy to find this. But you see this portrait of the white women and the Moor king, the Moor leaders. All the white women he had in this room, the Moor, look, see the Moors? There's some white slaves. Look at this. The Moors with their white slaves. Right? Remember. Yes, this is true. The barbarian slave trade of North Africa. Right? Remember, they were selling white slaves to black Romans and black Vikings too. Okay? That's evidence that this is what they're talking about. They have paintings of their white slaves. And they sold them to Vikings, Halfdan the Black. Right? So, I just proved to you that they were not white. They were black through evidence. This Halfdan the Black and every Viking of that time was black. Now, let's go into some science and then we'll go to scripture. All right? Just my thing on scripture. So if you go to science, what European countries high on skin cancer? Oops, I meant, North European countries, especially Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the Netherlands. All Viking areas. How could, and let's type in Denmark people today. Oopsies. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is why they get skin cancer. And you're telling me they were around during that time? Can't be ancient if you... Okay, look. The Danes, of course they're going to say yes, but let's just see what they're going to say. Did the ancient Danes get melanoma? That's... Wow. definitive statistical data on melanoma incidence in ancient populations is unavailable. It is highly probable that ancient Danes did get melanoma, although likely at a much lower rate than today. Right. We'll do one more. Did ancient Swedes get melanoma? It's highly probable that ancient Swedes get melanoma. Right? However, the disease was less far prevalent because they were black. That's why. That's why Benjamin Franklin said the Swede. What did he say? What did Benjamin Franklin say? He said the Swedes, swarthy. Oh my gosh, these people low IQ. This is easy, man. All right. So Denmark, right? Say Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland. The entire Europe is high in skin cancer because these people are in it today. That's why. And the real ones that were there, where is it? The real ones that were there didn't get it because they were black. And I'm gonna show you some anthropology. Totally be debunking this. Was it I forgot Cheddar Man. Cheddar Man. My bad. Look at that. Look how dark he is. Ain't no. You see this person? Look, nothing. Nowhere near his skin color. It's a black person. Alright, so now we're gonna prove it. I do want to show a representation of somebody who looks like that, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it because I don't know if I got. So maybe I have an example. Oh yeah, James Brown. Now he's not. He might be a Dan. I'm about to say Dane, but look at that. He looks exactly like him. He's got the hair too. So now let's get to the scripture. So let's type in Dan Moab. Oops, sorry. Moabite wife Jasher. So in the apocryphal book of Jasher, the patriarch Dan, son of Jacob, went to the land of Moab and married a Moabite woman named Abaleth, daughter of Dan. She was initially barren, but later bore a son. Alright. So we're going to go to the book of Jasher. And it goes to what? I don't like doing it, but we're going to... Okay. So we're going to read just the first 10 chapters. And that's it. Chapter 45. And it was at the time of the year, which the year of Joseph going down to Egypt after his brothers had sold him, that Reuben, the son of Jacob, went to Timnah and took unto him for a wife Iliriam, the daughter of Avi the Canaanite, and he came to her. And Iliriam, the wife of Reuben, conceived and bare him Hanak, Palu, Chezron, and Carmi, 4 sons. And Simeon, his brother, took his sister Dinah for a wife, and she bare unto him Memuel, Yamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zochar, 5 sons. Verse 3. And he afterward came to Bunah, the Canaanitish woman, the same as Bunah, whom Simeon took captive from the city of Shechem. I believe this is Shechem. I think this is Shechem. Oh my gosh. I type. This is the biblical place of Shechem, right? This should be the Sikkim section. We learned it from this article, right? I should have did the scripture first. I should have did that first before the evidence. But if you're still here, bingo. Or if you skipped, at least you got to the part of the scripture part. Was before Dinah and attempted upon her. And Simeon came to her, and she bare unto him Saul. And Judah went to at the time to Adullam. He came to a man of Adullam, and his wife. His name was Hara. And Judah or Yehuda saw their daughter of a man from Canaan, and her name was Aliath, the daughter of Shua, and he took her and came to her, and Eliah bare unto Judah Onan, and Shiloh, 3 sons. Verse 5. And Levi went, and Issachar went to the land of the east, and they took out themselves for wives the daughters of Jobab, the son of Joktan, the son of Eber, and Jobab, the son of Joktan, had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Adinah. The name of the younger was Arida. And Levi took Adinah, and Issachar took Arida, and they came unto the land of Canaan, to their father's house. And Adinah bare unto Levi Gershon, Kehath, and Merari, 3 sons. Verse 7. And Arida bare unto Issachar Tola, Puvah, Job, and Shamron, 4 sons. And Dan went to the land of Moab. I'm still doing research on this, guys. But based off of what I've researched right now, and I'm gonna probably make a video, maybe Malaysia, the Strait of Malacca, right? I'm theorizing that, this right here, Malaysia, was like the Strait of Malaysia. I mean, the Strait of Malacca, which includes Malaysia, Indonesia, not Philippines, but that is the land of Moab. I'm just guessing because they descend from Islam people, so I'm guessing this is this has to be the Moabite land. I might be wrong. In evidence, I say that because there's a tribe. There's a Dani tribe in Papua New Guinea. They got pushed out of Indonesia. Out of West Indonesia. And then there's another really, really dark tribe, Bougainville in Oceania. And they got really dark skin. Some got big. They could be Moab. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I don't. Not for the other parts said. But I'm just guessing that might be where it is. But let's get back to this part. And remember, they could have these people. They could have mixed with others before they went over there. And then when you go to Bougainville, but the reason I don't believe that they are Moabites is because they're Christian. So type in Islam, Muslim. Tiny, so it can't be. But let's go back to the scripture. All right, chapter 8, and okay, yeah, no, my bad. Chapter 7, no, yeah, and Arida bare unto Issachar, Tola, Puvah, Job, and Shamron, 4 sons, and Dan went into the land of Moab and took for a wife Apleth, the daughter of Cham, the Moabite, and brought her to the land of Canaan. All right. Verse 8. And Apleth was barren. She had no offspring. And God afterward remembered Apleth, the wife of Dan. And she conceived and bare a son. She called his name Trushim. All right. So I'm gonna give. That's the scripture. All right. And we already know the Moors. Now I don't know if the internet gonna say it. Do Moors believe they are Moabites? Yes, so remember, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America and related groups, often called Moorish Americans, believe African Americans descendant of the biblical Moabites, right? Or African, right? So the Moabites are the Moors, guys. So, and you got proof of these Moors, right? Selling white slaves, and they also sold it to Vikings, right? Sold it to Vikings. So if you had black royalty selling white slaves to other royalty, Vikings that were called swarthy by Benjamin Franklin, Halfdan the Black, and it says in the book of Jasher that Dan took a Moabite wife, right? Let's type it again. Moor wife. Moors. Women. Right? This is the woman he married. a Moabite, right? A Moabite, right? A black woman. So a dark-haired man married a white man, a white woman, a black woman, and looks like this today, right? Looks like this, right? Looks like them. Oh my bad. We'll just type in Rolo. Oh my gosh, bro. Looks like him today, right? Really? Now he could have some Negro heritage, but I'm just saying, like, you get what I'm saying? The Moors sold white slaves. They sold white slaves to Vikings who are from the king Halfdan. And in the Bible, which his name matches, because you know if you didn't read, Halfdan, biblical tribe of Dan, right? Okay, it's not trying to show. Okay. King Halfdan. Alright, so there was something on Wikipedia. Okay, some medieval Danish traditions, like the Congo, mention a mythical Danish ancestor named Dan, right? They're talking about the tribe of Dan. So, that's why they're named Dan. But, yeah. I just proved to you that the Danites and Halfdan the Black, the king, Halfdan the Black was a black man. Alright, with scripture too. So I'm done. Hiya, hiya.